what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Chance Bishop Show for episode 104, the last and the longest episode of our Madden 23 Philadelphia Eagles franchise mode. Yes, you're looking at that time correctly. Episode is over an hour and 40 minutes. So sit tight. Go grab yourself a popcorn, go grab yourself a snack, a drink, something, and then buckle up, because we're going to be here for a hot minute. Plain and simple, we're going to be here for a minute. I want you to know, at work, I have 10-hour shifts. 5:30 to 4 in the morning. Technically 10 and a half hour, I have an unpaid break in there. I also have a paid break. That's not the point. I have a 10-hour working shift, 10 and a half hour shift. This episode is roughly 2/10 of how long my shift is, if you want to break down how much I get paid for, like paid hours. So yeah, an episode that has about 2/10 of my entire shift. Absolutely bonkers. But we're coming in here the first season. It's Eagles are sitting at 4-2. 4-2, not quite where you want to be. When you're kind of in a win now mode. 1,600, 12-6. You got 609. Is that 9, right? 9 touchdowns. 422 from Chase Cole. Not great. 5 touchdowns from Mario Williams. He's got 300 yards. Let's see. Sacks, 3 from Jacoby right there. Only 6 sacks let up so far in 6 games. 37 tackles leads the team. 6 tackles for losses. 10.5 sacks from Bryan Breese. Dude's an animal. 2 interceptions to Tommy Blackburn right there. Now Dave's doing fine. 796 from punts. Let's see, 400 kick return and 29 punt return yards. Not great on the punt return yards, but it's punt returns. It's not the end of the world. We're advancing to the end of this season right now. 2036 has come, and it is going right now. Let's take a look here at how Philadelphia is going to do. And what we're going to do in this episode, is we're going to sim till more or less all of the main players on this team retire. So Bijan, Anthony Richardson, the couple key defensive players that are still left on this team. We are waiting for them all to retire. Philadelphia ends the season at, 13-4? So, 4-2, 13-4, not too shabby. 2 losses before the half, 2 after. 44, 32, and 14 from Richardson. Not one of his greatest passing seasons. Not at all, honestly. Running-wise, 18 and 23 touchdowns. Jeez. Bijan really turned it up in the second half of the season. Week 7 or week 8 onward, he scored a lot of touchdowns. Mario had 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns right there. Good for him. Led the team in both receiving yards and in touchdowns right there. Chase Cole fell off. Let's see. 8 sacks allowed from Jacoby, 7 from Banks after he allowed none in the first 6 games. Jeremiah 115, 14 tackles from Loss. That's 18 sacks right there. Pick-wise, 5 from Tommy Blackburn right there. 4, and it kind of 2-1-1. 1 missed kick from Dave right there. 1 missed extra point as well. All right, that's kind of gross. 1,800 yards punting, about 1,000 yards kick return, 118 yards punt return. No return touchdowns at all. Unfortunate. Bijan Robinson, there you go, big fella. He is the all-time record for rushing yards. 22,686 yards by the time, the end of the 2036 season. So there you go, Bijan right there. I think Jonathan Taylor and that Henderson guy for the Jaguars is also in the top 3. Emmitt Smith, but Philadelphia's taken on the Cowboys in the wild card round. The Packers have the first seed. You have Seattle, Washington, a couple other great matchups. But Philadelphia, they're coming through right now. They're looking for themselves to have a big win here against the Dallas Cowboys. With all of these NFC East teams, the last thing you want to happen is have one of your division rivals kind of step in there and be the team that takes the franchise to the next level. You don't want that to happen. That's honestly the last thing you want to do. But division rivals aside, as long as we can get past the Cowboys, Washington's going to shoot themselves in the foot. And before this game, Baylor Cup, Richardson brings it to Siriani's attention that, hey, man, I don't think Baylor's in it anymore. He's getting up there in age. Baylor Cup, long-time Eagle. He was the heir to Dallas Goedert. Of course, I don't think Baylor nor Dallas ever had 1,000-yard seasons, but you don't need 1,000-yard seasons from those guys when we had the wide receiver crew that we did. Every year, 3 receivers 1,000 yards. For a bunch of years, won this team a lot of games. Definitely helped Nick Siriani out in the long run. But here we go. Take a look at the Cowboys right there. I have no clue who that is. Number 8 or number 12, a lackluster defense, a limp offense. Philadelphia definitely looking forward to being the victors here. Definitely have an older group right now fielding the ball for Philadelphia. A lot of veterans. You have your Breezes, you have your Bijans, you have your Richardsons. All were drafted after the first season. They were all part of the first draft here back in 2024. So they were all part of, that draft. 2023, the 2023-2024 season. That was their first season technically altogether. So to see them now here in 2036, I think, 12 seasons later, that's absolutely, I think it's 13 now. I don't know. The math always confuses me with how these seasons work. It just confuses me. But Philadelphia, definitely the favorites right now. The Cowboys are never going to be the favorites over Philadelphia, especially here at the Link. But there you go, Dallas, they're getting ready. Their head coach is hyping up, generic QB prospect 35. But Philadelphia, definitely the team to still be reckoned with here out on the field. Doesn't matter the age, as the special teams unit is out there and underway. And now this opening drive, the Cowboys, they get a touchdown and a field goal. Philadelphia just kind of coughs it up. Philly looking for their first points. They get a field goal right there. Come on, we need a touchdown. Down by 3 now. Down by 10 again. Another touchdown for the Cowboys, their second of the game. Philly scores their second touchdown. A field goal from the Cowboys. Another field goal from the Cowboys. A touchdown brings within 2 now. We're in the fourth quarter. Philadelphia needs that final push. There you go, 31-26. Come on, Philadelphia. Let's get something doing. 34, 38. 34 now. Final 2 minutes, 45, 34. Final minute and a half. Cowboys score. They're up by 3 points. Doesn't matter. Philadelphia, they walk away with the victory here over the Dallas Cowboys. That's definitely what you like to see right there. The Cowboys being upset behind the Philadelphia Eagles here in the playoffs. Philadelphia having having the second seed, having the home field advantage definitely helps against a team like the Cowboys. The Cowboys get out of it, and guess what? That Lincoln crowd, they know how to turn it up. They really do. But Philadelphia, at the end of the day, a 3-point victory is still a victory nonetheless. And we're moving on to the second round. So let's go, Philadelphia. Let's get this team ready to go. 3 touchdowns and a pick, 97 yards and a touchdown from Bijan, 129 a touchdown, 107 from Chase Cole and a touchdown. Ari's had a touchdown. Pancakes, sacks, no sacks allowed. All right, 11 tackles from Elliott, 3 tackles from Loss. Only 2 sacks in the game. 1 pick from Tommy Blackburn. He led the team with picks. Let's see. Greg did his thing. So did Dave. No kick or punt returns, apparently. Everything was just waved off. But after the game, Baylor Cup goes, hey, Coach, I know we got spoiled. This isn't a surprise anymore. But I think this might be our last season together. This may be our last dance here in the NFL. So hopefully the Philadelphia Eagles can go out on top when it comes to the final season here for a long-time tight end Baylor Cup. Baylor, he's won a lot of games. He's won a lot of rings. He has a pretty full cabinet when it does come to awards. But hopefully he gets to go out on top with one more ring. That's definitely what he wants to happen. It's definitely what this team wants to have happen, not just for themselves, but for the longtime teammate, of Baylor Cup. A guy who's stuck around Philly for a very long time, and a guy that Philadelphia has been very glad, to keep around. He's kind of fulfilled that, that passing of the torch arc where you have, Ertz to Goddard, you have Goddard to Baylor Cup, you have Baylor Cup to whomever's next at this point. I don't, who's Baylor Cup going to pass the torch off to? But here we go. We're getting into the second round right now. Taking on the bird team, the Seattle Seahawks. Philadelphia always struggles against bird teams. Don't know why, don't know how. It's just kind of how this team likes to roll. Just taking all the L's against birds. Not a fun time for Philadelphia if you're a bird-named team. But Bijan, he's ready to rock and roll. Take over the offense rushing-wise. 2,600 yards, 4.4 yards per carry, 6.7 scramble yards per carry. So Philadelphia's rushing offense definitely took a notch up this season. Going from, I think they were 3.8 last season up to 4.4 this year. So definitely a very good uptick in running the ball for Philadelphia. Bijan finding that second win late in his career. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what you'll want to have for a guy like Bijan. You don't draft him in the first round for nothing. I think we got him with one of the later picks, like the 30th pick or something, or the 29th pick. The Seattle Seahawks take the first lead of the game, 7-0 Seahawks. They go up by 10 now. Philadelphia looking to get a score. Come on, Philly. They get 3 points and a quick touchdown. Makes it a 10-10 time. Seattle scores, and so does Philly. 17 all here in the third. Another touchdown for Seattle. A field goal for Seattle. They're up by 10 points yet again. Touchdown for Philly. Down by 3. There's another touchdown. Another touchdown. A field goal from Seattle. Come on, Philadelphia. Up by 8. Now you're up by 11. And there you go. Philadelphia Eagles. They hold out and get the W. So this team is definitely not an Eagles team of old. A team that would allow, 20 points so far through the first 2 rounds. Philadelphia allowed over 40 points, 42 points actually, in, the first round. Added up, 36, 37 points here. So Philadelphia's defense definitely a little shaky to start things off with here in the playoffs. Something they definitely need to get checked in line, because it's just not going to work out. There you go, 4 touchdowns and a pick, 400 yards for Richardson right there. You like it. 48 yards right there for Bijan, 132 from Arias, 176 and 3 touchdowns from Bijan. Sacks, we got 2 sacks allowed, not too bad. Tackles were led by Eli Waters right there. Fitzgerald, some tackles for loss. 4 sacks from Bryan Breese right there. Dude was a menace to society out there. No picks. Gardner was fine. McCain 4 punts. Returns are whatever right there. But there you go. Richardson, he's talking about Baylor Cup after this game, saying, Coach, we are 1 win away from getting Baylor back to the Super Bowl to at least get himself another championship ring. Philadelphia, they're not in the hunt right now for championships. They're in the hunt for Super Bowls. And hey, honestly, if they get to the championship and they lose, it's just not gonna. It's gonna be a wasted season. We're losing a long-time fan favorite player, not really a team captain, but kind of a guy that kind of stood on the outskirts of the team captaincy. Someone that the young players always could look up to, and someone who developed a very good career here in Philadelphia, starting as a backup that just kind of grinded as a backup and worked his way up. So we're playing in a storm as well, which means that if we were actually playing this game, it would be no problem. But since it is now the AI taking on the Vikings in said storm, which means, we set the game plan to run the ball, because that just makes sense. It's snowing. You don't want to throw the ball. Receivers are slipping, your accuracy shot. It's just not a good move to throw the ball. But we're guaranteeing here that the offense for the AI is not going to run the ball. No running back's going to have over 50 yards rushing. And, yeah, we're going to throw the ball 40 times. And we're probably going to lose because of it, too. Not something you want to happen. But a rematch here of the 2017 NFC Championship game. Eagles versus the Vikings. You know, this is like a repeat of history right now. Who comes down here with NFC? You know, the last time the Eagles absolutely smacked the Minnesota Vikings. Like, I mean, absolutely smacked them. You know, they got that first touchdown, threw a pick, and it was just game over from there. Case Keenum, you know, it was just absolutely outmatched afterwards. And now Philadelphia, you know, a bunch of veterans on this team, a bunch of players. One player's looking at retiring, and we are one win away from getting back to the big dance. So hopefully Philadelphia can buckle it down right now, and they can hopefully, and I really do mean hopefully, you know, get everything squared away. Vikings score first very quickly in the opening graphic. Realize it's all loading in. Score again. We're down by 2 touchdowns. Philadelphia gets 3 points here. You know, down by 11 in the second. Down by, oh boy, first touchdown there is in the second quarter. Down by 11 again. Come on, Philly. We need another touchdown here. We need points, honestly. Philadelphia struggling on this field. There you go. 16-21. Missed extra point. You know, come on, Philly. Something here. Anything. Oh, 22-21. Ends the third. Oh, boy. 29-22. Come on, Philly. Touchdown here. Touchdown. Tie it up. No. 36-22. Final 2 minutes. 29-36. Can we get the ball back? Something. No. Cannot do it. Philadelphia drops this one here at home. The Philadelphia Eagles have been upset here at the Link, in front of their home crowd by the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings, a team that's back in the Super Bowl for the first time, and I don't know how long it's been since the Vikings made it to the Super Bowl. I don't think they've made it once so far in this franchise. And I don't know the last time they were actually in it to overall begin with. You know, the Vikings are a team of misfortune, honestly. They haven't had the best of luck with things. They're like the Pittsburgh Pirates. 3 touchdowns, 421 passing yards from Richardson. There you go, look at that. No running back had over 50 yards. None of them had over 42 yards, which is absolutely insane. To not run the ball in the snow. It was pass it. Sure, we got a bunch of touchdowns and whatnot. But we don't control the clock that way. It's absolutely wild that we don't run the ball. I mean, Dave was fine. McCain had 5 punts, which is brutal. Averaging only 40 yards a punt. That's just gross right there. Like, come on. Get some more umph in it. I'm pretty sure Dave, not Dave, Dave's the kicker. I'm pretty sure Greg has like 97 plus kick power. So I don't know why his kicks are so like lame and duddy. Like, I get the snow and it's weather factoring, and you're probably kicking into the wind, but come on, do better than, just over 40 yards a punt. Like, literally just over 40 yards. But after this game, Baylor Cupp goes in front of the media, and he announces that he is, in fact, done with football. I haven't seen one of these ones before. We've had a bunch of players retire. Jason Kelce, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, all those guys. None of them have gotten up here in front of the podium and said anything. Maybe because we lost in the playoffs, they didn't just retire, during the normal retiring stage. Richardson, he is a Pro Bowler, so is Bijan. Receivers, no one. Tight ends, no one. Thompson's a Pro Bowler. Let's see. Kelvin Banks is a Pro Bowler for right tackle. So we have both of our tackles. Good for them right there. Eli Waters, Noah Blackwell killing it. Tommy Blackburn's the safety. We do have it in Dave Gardner. Dave Gardner, the kicker. So the Chargers actually defeat the Vikings in the Super Bowl right there. 28-20. Nick Siriani wins Coach of the Year. Bijan's your Offensive Player of the Year. JT's your Defensive Player of the Year. NFL MVP goes to Corey Anderson. All right, Corey Anderson of the Rams right there. Take a look at those who've retired. All right, take a look. Anyone special maybe? Kyler Murray hangs it up. Okay, Malachi Moore, Lamar Jackson. He calls it a career. A.J. Cole, Mac Jones hangs up the spikes. Patty Mahomes retires as a Jet. which is wild. I'm pretty sure he drafted TJ Green, which is absolutely insane that he is retiring. Nakobe Dean hangs up the spikes. I forgot he was still on the team, honestly. We have all of these, computer-generated players now. I've kind of forgotten that Nakobe Dean was there. Yeah, Nakobe, good play. Don't think he had enough oomph in him to make the haul, but overall good player. Drake London, Josh Downs. Let's see anyone else right now. Any other names that are actually real? Daxton Hill, Tyler Van Dyke, a bunch of coordinators. Apparently, the Bengals lost all of their coordinators. But coming into the next season, Nick Siriani, he knows where he left off, and he knows what he has to get done to push his team to the next level. Philadelphia, they're not quite there yet. They still need to get over that final hump and get back to the Super Bowl. That's honestly the only thing that Philadelphia needs at this point. Just start winning. Just get another big one. And just start adding more rings to the collection. Sirianni's already got one handful of rings. Come on, we need a second handful of rings. Get another one for Richardson and Bijan. The guys who've won every ring here in that second stint of, in that main stint of winning rings. You have the Nick Foles ring with Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. And then now you have this next step, which was started by Tom Brady, continued by Anthony Richardson and the rest of this team. Howie Roseman, absolute draft genius, being able to sustain, just to sustain a winning franchise. Only the one losing season, which was probably more of a fluke than anything. You got to think coming in here, they thought, okay, let's see what we can do without, these high-end receivers. This is the first year, I think, without any of the top 3 receivers that Philadelphia had for the previous 5+ years. And yeah, didn't work out. Howie went out there, fixed it instantly, and we're back in the playoffs every year since. But coming through 2037 right now, Philadelphia looking for, hopefully, a good start-off point right now. A good midway, a good leaping point where they can get the best of everything. Philadelphia is definitely a team that wants that strong starting point. 5-2, 7 games into the season. That's the strong starting point you want here in Week 8. It's Week 8, 5-2. They're tied with the Commanders. 1,700, 18-4 from Richardson right there. That's pretty good. I think the passing yards could be a little better. 627-13 from Bijan. He's on pace for another 20 touchdown season. 478 leads the receivers. Okay. Sacks. 4 from Jacoby Thompson in 7 games. Not great. I don't like that. But this game's awful when it comes to allowing sacks. Nothing can fix it. 3.5 sacks right there. We're definitely missing Brady Breese a bunch. Interceptions, just nothing there. Dave Gardner's missed 2 kicks already. 15 punts, 848. I don't know. Kick return and punt return are just abysmal, honestly. Not a fun go of things right now. But take a look there. 7 games played, yeah. The special teams is what it is. It's not gonna get any better. It's not gonna get any worse, honestly. But getting through the rest of the 2037 season right now for Philadelphia, let's take a look and see how they end it up right now. Week 13 we're cruising, week 14 we're cruising by right now, 2037. Hopefully, Philadelphia keeps the win streak alive. They keep it going, and they finish. I don't know how many had 7. They finish 15-2. No, 11-6. Did they miss the playoff? No, we played the Cardinals. Okay, about to say, did we miss the playoffs at 11-6? Now we're playing the Cowboys. 48, 47, and 9 for Richardson right there. So not bad at all. We have rushing wise 13 and 22. So 13 is definitely a big hit for Bijan. 11 from Roman, 17 touchdowns, 1,000 from Ellis. 17 touchdowns, of course, leads of the team. 3 of the players with 7 touchdowns each. Wow. Let's see. Sacks, 7 from Jacoby right there. So he stayed pretty accurate. Only allowed 3 more. 13 tackles for loss. No one had double-digit sacks this season, which is probably brutal right there. Pass rush definitely, I think, led to some of this collapse. Jeremiah Trotter had 3 picks. Kool-Aid had a pick. Kool-Aid, oh man, not 13 for 9. 9 for 13. 4 missed kicks and only 30. You can't be doing that, Dave. You can't be missing that many kicks in 13 attempts. If you had 30 or 40, not even that, if you had 40 attempts, if you missed one of every 10 kicks, that's more doable. But to have 13 kicks and you miss 4 of them, come on, what is going on there? What is happening? What is this big barrier that Dave ran into? I wonder how many games we could have won if we had those extra, 3 points that Dave missed. It's just something that, who knows at the end of the day, what's it gonna come down to? We're taking on a bird team right now in the Cardinals. Philadelphia, come on. We've done so well against bird teams these last couple of, episodes we've run through them. But we gotta keep it going. We gotta keep it going against the Arizona Cardinals. That's gonna be the main thing right now, is just hopefully winning. Winning. Less than 2,000 rushing yards, back down to 3.7 yards a carry for the Philadelphia Eagles. So they're taking a step back. I think a lot of it's due to the fact that the main core of this team is in year 14. Jeremiah, he's the one probably in year 12, but even still, 12 years as a linebacker, that's a lot of hits. That's a lot of bumps and bruises you're taking. But going through this one, Philadelphia's up the first touchdown. They answer back, though, so it's a tie game. Philly looking to gain the lead. They don't. The Cardinals retake it, 10-7. Now coming in here, we accidentally jump into the game, which is unfortunate. We're not trying to play it. We accidentally jumped into it. We're going to get right back into the simulation. So there you go, super sim it. We're going to jump into the next play. And yeah, from here I kind of flubbed it. Didn't do it right. So now it's not on the autoplay. So I gotta keep hitting the next button. Let's go. 14-10. Okay, come on, Philadelphia. They have the lead. The Cardinals, they punt it, which is good. Philly just going backwards. They get them run off, punt it. All right, bunch of passes lead to a touchdown for the Cardinals. Come on, negative, forward, punt. Run, punt. Did they punt? No, I think it's opening kickoff right there. Philadelphia's up 21-7 though. So until 21-17. Sorry, 21-17, 24-21 now. Come on, Philadelphia, you gotta do something here. You gotta grab the bull by the horns and do something, anything right now. You're down by 6 in the fourth quarter. You need a score. You need something. What you don't need is to go down by 9 now. 5 minutes left here in the quarter. Philadelphia, they get 3 points there. The Cardinals, if they score here, it's game over. Yeah, it's game over. Game over, man. The Cardinals, they defeat the Philadelphia Eagles here. I told you, bird teams are a thorn in the side of Philadelphia. Jones there. I wonder if is that Danny Dimes? There's no way that Danny Derps is there. Danny Derps is definitely retired by now. But not Danny Dimes over there. He defeats Philadelphia. Just not a great game all around for the Philadelphia Eagles, honestly. 30-24. Not a great look, honestly. 325. They had an interception thrown. So, Philly, come on. You could do definitely better than that. I wonder how many points Dave... If Dave comes down to missing 2 field goals, that would have lost us this game. Insane. 63 rushing yards. No one had... 73 yards from Bijan with a touchdown. Sacks, 2 sacks allowed. 3 sacks allowed. No pancakes. 10 tackles led the team right there. A bunch of tackles for losses. 2 sacks. Good for that. No picks for the defense. A missed field goal. What a surprise. Let's see. Greg had a punt. Joe McCollum did some things in the return game. Richardson, he's back in the Pro Bowl. So is Bijan right there. Let's see. Any receivers? No receivers. Tight ends. No tight ends. We got Thompson at left tackle. We got Banks at right tackle. Like to see that right there. Jalen Carter is just killing it. He's always here. Waters, the linebacker. Let's see anyone else. McCollum. There's McCollum right there. That's definitely not Art McCollum. But the Bengals defeat the Cardinals 27-21 for their third Super Bowl right there. L.J. Johnson, there he is, former Eagle L.J. Johnson wins the Super Bowl MVP. MVP goes to Richardson. Robert Saleh gets Coach of the Year. Klein gets Offensive Player of the Year, and JT Defensive Player. He's won like the last 3 or 4 Defensive Players of the Year, that JT guy. So he's pretty good at the whole football thing. Now take a look. Any big names retire? I know we're getting a ton of computer gen players at this point. I mean, I guess a couple of draft guys. J.C. Latham. Caleb Williams retires after 14 seasons. Buka, Evan Neal, Matt Ariza. So Herbert retires. Kelvin Banks, Kool-Aid, Kevin, Bijan, Mario Williams, all retired for Philadelphia. Yeah, we signed Justin Herbert to be a backup, by the way, in the offseason. He was just kind of sitting there as an X factor. Go, hey, this guy doesn't have a Super Bowl win. Maybe we can get him a Super Bowl ring before he retires. We could not do that, which is unfortunate. We also lost our starting running back, our starting center, our starting right tackle, and I'm pretty sure our starting receiver too. So Philadelphia getting into week 1 here, I guess, of the 2038 season. They're just going to try and sim through it right now. Hopefully have something go right for them, because they have not had a lot go right for them in the past couple of seasons. It's just, honestly, it is a long way to the bottom for Philadelphia. And it's kind of, it's the slow descent, the slow, march to madness here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's just something that this fan base, they've known it's been coming, and they're just glad it's taken so long to get here. Philadelphia, they had that one bad season, like I said, and then they rebounded. They won, and it was like, okay, it was a fluke. It won't happen again. Well, I think it's starting to happen now, but it's a slower, kind of worse decay as we get to the midway point here, the 2038 season. It's like we're still winning, but we're not winning enough. 5-1 here are the Eagles going into the halfway point of the season, so not bad at all. Philadelphia 16-11-3 from Richardson, 357-5 from Matthew Reese, taking over for Bijan. George Roman, 500 yards, touchdowns, only 4 from George Roman. That's pitiful. Let's see, 3 sacks allowed. Center Matt Hall. Is that Hall or Wall? I wasn't paying attention. Jeremiah leads the team. We got Jalen Carter, by the way. We did pick him up in free agency, leading the team in sacks and tackles for losses. Dave Gardner, he missed a kick. Of course he did. Greg has 19 punts. Joe McCollum right there. Joe McCollum, in the punt return, kick return game, he's doing his thing. But we are getting here into the rest of this season. Let's sim the rest of the season. Sim to the playoffs. Full send, baby. Come on. Let's just finish with the first seed. That's honestly the only thing that we can hope for right now is Philadelphia finishing with the first seed. It's something that this team needs to do. Finish with the first seed. Give the fans something to hope for. That's the only thing really we can do right now as an organization, is just go in there and win. Win. That's what keeps the fans coming, and that's what keeps the free agents when they come to Philadelphia. Jalen Carter, former Georgia Bulldog, it's a player that got drafted in real life. He's playing for the Eagles right now, IRL, but in game took a little too long to get here. 15-2. So there you go. We get the first seed, it looks like, here on this season, 2038 season. We get the first seed, which is awesome right there. But we're getting right into this game right now against the division rival, against the NFC rival, Chicago Bears. The Bears, not a team that we've faced a lot, honestly. I remember we faced them in year 1 of this series with Justin Fields. I think we had Gardner Minshew starting. I don't think Jalen Hurts was doing all too hot. But I don't really remember playing the Bears all too often here in this franchise, which is wild to think. We missed out a lot of good ball between, Justin Fields, his broken running and all that fun stuff right there. We missed a bunch of it, which is super unfortunate. But Philadelphia, nonetheless, is coming into this one as the favorites. They're the 1 seed in the NFC. They went from the 2 seed last year to the 1 seed this year. They're definitely looking, though, for a winning season. It's been a couple seasons since they've won a ring. Let's get it going. The Bears averaging 3.2 yards a carry, only 1,907 yards via the ground right there. That's pitiful right there. Very, very pitiful, honestly. Philadelphia in the heyday, they would scoff at a rushing attack so inept. But Dave getting things underway right now for Philadelphia. Special teams is ready and set to. But getting into this game right here, taking on the Chicago Bears. I mean, you can't sleep on any team in Madden because that's just kind of how Madden works. Game's tied here in the first quarter. Bears retake the lead. Go to the second quarter now. Philadelphia, come on, baby. We could do something. Now let's... Points down by 10 now. Come on, Philly. You can do it. Come on, there you go. Down by 7 now. A rally late here. We can't go down by down by 2 touchdowns. As soon as I was saying we can't go down by 2 touchdowns, we go down by 21 points. Down by 3 touchdowns now. Philadelphia fourth quarter. Slow comeback. I don't think it's going to happen. Final 2 minutes. Philly. I mean, you can make it close, but I don't think... they don't... No miracle. No Madden miracle here. But the Chicago Bears, they upset the Philadelphia Eagles in this one, defeating them 38-31. It's that slow decline right now. It's honestly, this point is worse than going, 5 and 13, no, 5 and 12. I'd much rather have a losing season where we don't make the playoffs than a season where we're getting, 15, 14, 13 wins, making the playoffs, getting that first round bye, and then we get bumped. All that does is just kind of give us a mediocre draft pick. But Richardson's up there for the Pro Bowl, so Jacoby Thompson. Gonna be no right tackle Philadelphia this year, mostly because, he retired. Kelvin Banks. Jalen Carter's up there. Good old Jalen Carter. Like to see him. Keely Ringo's there as well. Richardson wins NFL MVP. Bengals are now 4-time Super Bowl champions. Malachi Blake is your MVP for the Bengals. The safety. Nick Sirianni's Coach of the Year. Tyree Broughton. And then JT again. Dude, that JT guy is absolutely killer, apparently, for the Seahawks. Just every year he's getting Defensive Player of the Year. At least it seems like for the last 40 plus minutes he's been doing it, or 30 plus minutes now. But going through, taking a look at retirees now. Any other real life players hanging up the spikes? Jalen Carter retires. Our center we just signed retires. Okay, that's cool, I guess. So did Chase Cole. Chase Cole has been with us for a minute, so him retiring kind of hurts our receiving core a little bit. As we wrap up these retirees. Joey Porter Jr. saw him slide by. Will Rogers, head coach Jack Parker. Yeah, they all retire. But getting into week 1 of the brand new season here. Philadelphia taking on the New York Giants. Come on. We had a first round loss, I guess second round loss technically for Philadelphia. Let's get moving. Let's get this episode going. The 2039 season's underway now. Philadelphia looking to hopefully just come back and either cement themselves as a winner or just commit to being losers. Don't have an in between here. Don't have we made the playoffs, but we get bumped. Make the playoffs and win, or don't make the playoffs and just commit to losing. That's honestly what I feel like is the better option here. We end up losing. Fine. We get a top 15, top 10, top 5 draft pick here in the league. We get positions of need. We can develop the talent. And we have the players that we need to move forward and to actually come out here and be productive and start winning again. They can only do so much through free agency. They can only do so much through a lot of it, honestly. And Philadelphia at this point, they just kind of have to commit to something because they're they haven't committed to either yet. They don't commit to losing. They haven't committed to winning. 6-1 through 7 weeks, not bad. That's a commit to winning right there. 6-1. The 4-3 Vikings, we lost them a couple years ago. 22 touchdowns, 3 picks, 2,100 yards, 513 rushing yards, 581 4 touchdowns from George Roman, 8 touchdowns from Mike Gallagher, the tight end. Let's see, sacks, 3 from Jacoby Thompson right there. Tackles led by Jeremiah Trotter, 5 sacks from Ralph Fitzgerald. Take a look at all the sacks right there. A couple players get some sacks. All right, interception-wise, 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 5 picks through 7 weeks. Not the happiest I've been. Dave missed a kick. How does Dave miss so many kicks? The dude literally has 99 kick accuracy. Is there something I'm missing when it comes to like how the setup goes? Because when I was kicking with him, he was just fine. He was always dead set down the middle. He always had a super good, like, I don't know, kick meter. I don't know what you call it. That little line where if you hit it, it's like, okay, he makes it as long as, he's got the distance. You know what? And I don't think we've ever missed a kick with Dave when I was kicking with him. Sure, like the sim, we've probably had an extra point blocked. I'm not too worried about that when we have like 70 plus extra points this season. But how has he missed so many kicks? He missed like 4 like 2 seasons ago. He missed 1 so far this season. Like, it's like, come on, Dave. Like, what are you doing here, dude? You gotta figure something out, and you gotta get it going. Like, you can't just be as inconsistent as you are. You're not like you're out there kicking 40 plus kicks a season. You're out there kicking. The one you hit 13 kick opportunities, field goal opportunities. And you missed 4 of them. Like, come on. Like, how are we doing that right there? Like, that's just embarrassing. It's disgraceful. It's like a whole Robert Aguayo out there. Philadelphia's 10-7. Dude, from 6-1, they went 10-7 to end the season. 4,800 yards, 50 touchdowns, 6 picks. It's not Richardson's fault. 936 yards from the running back, 1,300 yards from George Roman, 11 touchdowns, 15 touchdowns from Gallagher, 800 yards from him. Let's see, 10 sacks from Jacoby Thompson. Dude became a turnstile. 145 from Trotter right there. 15 tackles from loss from Derek Nails. Fitzgerald, 6.5 sacks. That's the fact that we've had multiple seasons now in a row with no pass rushers getting more than double-digit sacks, which is brutal. Jeremiah Trotter's got 4 picks. I mean, we got a bunch of picks, Kyle. It seems like we're towards the end of the season. Gardner at least finished off with only the 1 missed field goal. Peppers, 670 return. 123 from Carl Quincy. So, I mean, I don't know what happened to this team besides it's just the random number generator. Philadelphia, though, they actually missed the playoffs altogether. The Saints sneak in as the 7th seed right there. So Philadelphia finishes second best in the league, I guess, in the NFC East. Richardson is the QB3 at 91 overall. He's starting to regress heavily. Still throwing, 50 touchdowns. Gallagher, okay, there's Gallagher. Jacoby Thompson. Let's see. Anyone else on the team? Maybe Trotter. There's Jeremiah Trotter. Good for him right there. I like to see when we get our players here. It's down to the point now where we're looking at it. It's like I forget who's on this team. There's so many not real players now. Richardson's MVP, Larson's Coach of the Year. Broncos win their 4th Super Bowl. Ralph Irons is the QB for the Broncos, giving the Broncos their first Super Bowl win since the Manning era. So I'm glad John Elway finally found his new star QB. But taking a look here, see who retired. Any big names retire? Maybe. Did we lose another center? Michael Mayer retires. Good for him. He had a very long career. Pope, Jeremiah Trotter, Waters retires, Hill, Pearson. So, we're just slowly losing a lot of our core. Darren Hill, our right guard, retires. So he is a massive hole we have to find a replacement for. It's every season it just becomes plug and play with, which top offensive line talent are we going to sign? That's what Philadelphia is right now, honestly. That's kind of what I've gone to for Philadelphia, where it's, Is it the smartest idea? No, it's definitely not the smartest idea to go in there and just sign free agent talent. But hey, it's what we have to do. This is a win now team. This team is set up to, hey, we are designed to go to the playoffs. This team's built to go to the playoffs, ride it out as long as possible. We don't have time to draft a 75 or 70 overall, right guard and develop him into an 85, 93 overall right guard. It's just, hey, there's a 27-year-old right guard who's a 95. Throw money at him. Bring him in and plug and play them as long as they have, the depth traits. And we can kind of go off of there. Philadelphia's done great at developing offensive line talent. You got to think we turned Big Dick from, I think it was a low 80, like an 81, 82, into a 99 overall, in his tenure here. We turned Mulata into a 99 overall. Jarrett Patterson was a 99 overall. Let's see, who else was, right, Cam Jurgens got up to like an 80, I think he got to like a 92 actually. So Cam Jurgens, normal dev, great. Philadelphia 5-2. We are behind the 5-1 Commanders. 5-1, that's not too bad. 1900, 16-5 from Richardson right there. So not too shabby from the starting QB here in Philadelphia. He's slinging it. Reese 543 yards. Roman 594 receiving. Worman again leading the team in touchdowns. Jacoby Thompson, no sacks allowed from him. Cameron Quincy, the left guard, 3 sacks allowed. Tackles led by Haywood, 3 sacks. That's brutal right there. It'd be fine if we had 3 sacks, but like every player had sacks. No, it's not that easy. 4 picks so far on the season. A missed kick, of course, from Gardner. 13 punts from Greg. Kick return and punt return are just kind of non-existent now that there's no human controlling them because the AI just doesn't return kicks for the most part. I don't know why they don't return kicks. They really just don't return kicks at all. It's kind of frustrating. It really hurts kind of that immersive realism factor into this game when you have like, hey, here's this thing. It's like, oh yeah, but we don't do that. It's like Kyler Murray and Lamar not rushing the ball, and that's like a huge part of their game. But who knows? Honestly, it's a really weird thing that Madden can't just program players correctly. But as we get through this one, Philadelphia looking to maybe regain, the NFC East. Hopefully, they led the NFC East for all but one season before last year. I guess last season, 2039. Now in 24, they're looking to hopefully regain the top spot. So, losing the division twice since 2023, not too shabby for Philadelphia. I think, honestly, any Philadelphia Eagle fan would be like, yeah, that's a great run of dominance right there where we've only lost the division 2 times since, 2023. But Philadelphia go 13-4, they hold out. The Commanders crap out 10-7. The Cowboys 11-6, and the 4-13 Giants. 5,000 yards, 42 touchdowns, 13 picks, 1,100 yards for Reese. Roman 1,500 yards, 1,000 yards for Peppers. 14 tackles from Roman leads the team. Let's see, sacks, 6 from Connor Altman, the right guard, 5 from Quincy, the left guard, 106 from Townsend, 15 tackles from loss from Lawrence. Gee, sacks are absolutely abysmal. There's not one player that had 6 sacks. Like, absolutely abysmal. Picks, little better, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11 picks on the season, not great. 2 missed field goals from Gardner, 27 punts from Greg. We had over 1,100 yards of kick return, about 150 yards, 160 yards of punt return, not great. Eagles have the 1 seed, so they regain their spot as the top dog, which is nice. You do like to see that right there. Philadelphia, again, only 2 losses of the division. They come back, they regain that top spot. You love to see it. Taking on the Cardinals, though, Philadelphia. We've played the Cardinals a lot in this series. I think there's a good run where we played the Cardinals, the Lions, and there's one other team, like every season we played them. And it was literally like clockwork. It was just, oh, look, it's the Lions. Oh, look, it's the Cardinals. it was pretty bad. Where it's just like every year, it's like, hey, look, it's the Lions. Hey, look, it's this, that, and the other. I think we had a good run with the Falcons at one point during like the sim seasons, but who knows? Back with the Cardinals again. They're a team that we lost against in one of the rounds, I believe. No, we're over 50 minutes into this, or just about 50 minutes into this recording. You know, the first 15, 20 minutes, it's all gone to me right now. I don't remember how it plays out. But yards per attempt, 8.2 yards per attempt for the Philly offense right now, 70% completion. You like to see that, though, from Richardson. You know, he's getting up there in age, man. He's still killing it. I think he's, year 15, 16 right now, something like that. But that's honestly, that's who this franchise is kind of riding on right now. It's just, hey, where does he end up? How does his career play out? But taking now on the Cardinals, the team is getting hyped up. Richardson, he's out there. Special teams is ready to rock and roll in this one. Gardner, that special teams, that place kicker right there. He's ready to get things started. Opening kickoff is away. And Philadelphia's defense is out here looking to hopefully get a big stop in this opening drive. They don't. It is a 7-0. Missed extra point. Surprise, surprise. 10-6. Come on, Philly. There you go. 13-10. Don't miss the extra point that time. Another touchdown from the Cardinals. Philly's offense looking to, there you go, another touchdown. So, I mean, that one missed extra point there is brutal. Tie game now thanks to a field goal. Cardinals retake the lead on a field goal. Come on, Philly. You could do something. I mean, anything right now? Bunch of stalemating here in the third and fourth quarter. Another field goal from the Cardinals, down by 7. Come on, Philly. That'll be tied up. Missed extra point again. All right, come on. How do we miss 2 extra points in the same game? What is going on? Tie game, 33 apiece now, thanks to both touchdowns. Overtime. Come on, Philly. You could do it. Get to the end zone. Something. Field goal. Do we just win it? There you go. We get the big victory right there. Philadelphia coming out victorious here in overtime. Now, for the first time in the last couple seasons, we make it to the second round. Make it to the championship round right there. I know I keep saying second round. It's the third round, technically. Make it to the championship game. Come on. Let's get to the dance right now. Let's get the victory here. That's honestly the only thing we want and the only thing we need currently is just getting that W. Winning late, 36-33. Richardson threw an interception right there, which is not great. But hey, at the end of the day, it's still a win. A win's a win right there. Richardson, 3 touchdowns, a pick, 350 yards. 61 yards from Reese. Gallagher, 120, 153 from Roman right there. 3 touchdowns thrown. Good for them. Pancakes, no sacks allowed by the offensive line. Defensively, 13 from Barber, the safety. 3 tackles for loss of the team, no sacks. 1 pick from Niles Blackwell right there. Dave Gardner, 2 extra point misses. I mean, my only hope is that, I didn't look at it, but my only hope is that they were blocked and it was like an offensive line letdown, not him just absolutely whiffing at it. They're back. The Saints, they're back. We haven't played the Saints, it feels like, in a minute. The Saints, that was that team I was thinking of. Remember how I said we played the Cardinals and the Lions like a bunch of years in a row? This was the other team. The Saints, we played the Saints every year in the first round for, I think, 4 to 6 straight seasons. We played the Saints every year in the first round. We lost one. We went on a really big run of winning. And then we lost another one. That kind of was like the starting of the sputtering for the Philadelphia Eagles when it came down to how their seasons and how their series were going during the year. But, hey, it's a brand new season. It's 2040 right now. We got it. Philly's offense, 8.7 yards per attempt so far, 3.2 rushing yards during the playoffs. Not great. I mean, I'm not going to write home about 3.2 yards per carry. If it was 4.7, 4.2, okay, that's a good thing right there. 4.2 yards a carry, 2 runs. Guess what? You're third and short. You can run a ball, you can throw the ball short. You're not forcing the offense to kind of extend the field. But 3.2, I mean, we're looking at a third and 4 right now, which I don't know. But Philadelphia, come on, red zone alert right now. Let's get a stop right now. Let's do something. Let's keep them out of the field. There we go. We get in the end zone right there for the touchdown. Saints looking to do something, maybe retaliate a little bit. Philadelphia, there you go up by 2 touchdowns here. End of the second, go up by 3 touchdowns. There you go, up by 3 touchdowns now. We're holding the Saints to no points so far. I spoke too soon. They get a field goal to end the half. But in the third quarter now, Saints kind of pushing. They kind of stall out. Philly gets the 4th touchdown of the game. Saints get their first touchdown. Another touchdown here in the 4th. Saints are moving it. It's 20-28 now. Philadelphia with the ball. Come on. There you go. Philadelphia. They hold out and get the victory. And they are going back to the Super Bowl for the first time, it seems like, in a very long time. And then the last time we had an actual real run at the Super Bowl was with Baylor Cups last season. And Baylor Cup retired, minute 20? We're now going into almost the hour mark right now, like the 55-ish minute mark right now. And we're back in the Super Bowl. So it's been a little bit since we've been here. But Philadelphia, guess what? They're the underdog team. It's like you lost so much, and now it's time to win. 4 touchdowns from Richardson right there. No receiver went over 100 yards, which isn't bad. I'm not too worried about that. 3 receivers got touchdowns right there. Good for them. 2 sacks allowed. Not great. 13 tackles from Townsville right there led the team. 3 tackles for loss on the day. 2 sacks. Not great, not bad. 2 picks on the day, which is definitely the game changer right there. 2 missed field goals from Dave. God damn it, Dave. What are you doing here, dude? Like, why are you missing so many field goals? Take a look here at the Pro Bowl. At C.J. Stroud. He's still making it. He's still in the league. Good for him. Any other names that I recognize off the rip right here? Anything? Somebody? Anybody got something? No, not really looking like it looks like a lot of just computer-generated players. Unless there's someone I missed, call me out down in the comments. Be like, oh, you missed this guy out of this state, this college. No, he's still there. But Philadelphia taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is an all-Pennsylvania Super Bowl. Okay, that's what I like to see. The all-Pennsylvania Super Bowl right now. Philadelphia versus Steelers. The first time either franchise has faced off here in the Super Bowl. But there you go, down here in Hard Rock Cafe down in Miami. Philadelphia, they've been here before. This kid for the Steelers has not been here before. You have 2 different organizations right now. You have the been there, done that Anthony Richardson. And you have the kid down in Pittsburgh who has not been here, who has not won multiple rings. And he just has himself, and overall, he's like a deer in headlights right now. He's awestruck. He goes up against probably one of the quarterbacks he watched when he was in middle school, high school, and college. And, now look at him now. He's going up against him. But Philadelphia, hopefully they have what it takes to bring home another ring. Donnell Bethel right there. He's set to return the ball. Dave Gardner. Dave, come on, Dave. Do something. Average about 22.3 average start position right there for the opposing team. So not too shabby. And the Steelers get the ball first, and they march down and get a touchdown first half. Go down by 2 touchdowns, Philadelphia. Come on, Philly. You can do something here. Gonna push down by 3 touchdowns going into half. Philly gets their first touchdown in the third quarter. Come on, Philly. There you go. Bring it to within 1 score. Third quarter. Come on. Tied up by the end of the third? No, it's fine. Tied up. There you go. We're brand new ball game here. 21 unanswered points for Philadelphia's offense. Come on. Pushing it. 28 unanswered points. 2-minute warning. Philadelphia. Ooh, defense lets it up. Final seconds. Come on, Dave. Oh, no, Dave. Down by a touchdown. Philly, can you get in the end zone? Overtime. Yes. Philadelphia scores. They're pushing it. Come on, Philly. There you go. Philadelphia. You win it on a field goal by Dave, of all people. 38-35, the final score. An absolute nail-biter. Probably one of the best Super Bowls ever in NFL history. Overtime, both teams score. Comes down to a field goal from Dave Gardner. One of the most consistent kickers in the league. Now, Philadelphia, there you go. Big victory right there for Anthony Richardson. Now, bringing home yet again another Super Bowl trophy. Jacoby Thompson, he's been here before. Anthony Richardson, he's been here a lot more. Nick Sirianni's been here a lot. But taking a look, there you go. Richardson and Sirianni celebrating again as one of the best quarterback head coach tandems in league history. There you go, celebrating on the podium right there. Anthony Richardson, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 500 yards, 57. Like, how do you not run the ball in this game? 193 from George Roman, 121 from Mike Gallagher right there. So 2 touchdowns from Roman right there. So I like to see that right there. Not too bad. Sacks, 5 sacks allowed. Jeez. Tackles, 10 from Bobby McKenzie. 2 tackles from Loss led the team. Only 2 sacks, really. 1 pick from Mitch Harrell. Dave actually didn't miss anything, which is surprising. McCain only had 3 punts. No kick and no punt returns, of course. Why would there be? But Philadelphia, hey, they get the victory there. Their 9th Super Bowl championship. Richardson gets MVP of the league. Sirianni gets Coach of the Year. JT doesn't get the Defensive Player of the Year. I guess did he retire, maybe? He might have retired. That's probably why he doesn't have Defensive Player of the Year for the Seahawks. But Philadelphia now, the 9-time Super Bowl champion. Going through here, take a look at that retired. I missed who that Texans player was. Was that Will Anderson? Maxwell Pierce retired. And we've played him a bunch. Isaac Hall. Let's see, any big names as we scroll through here. Let's see, Taj, Nick Harper, Hod Campbell, Trevor Lawrence retires, McMillan retires. Let's see, Evan McPherson calls it a career. Earl Zimmer, Hamilton, the punter, A.J. White, Clark Goodwell, Sam Bennett, Ben Green. I'm just kind of reading off names as we go right now. Defensive coordinator Matt retires, and so does the defensive coordinator for the Bengals. So Philadelphia, coming off a Super Bowl victory, their first Super Bowl in a hot minute, but going into the 2041 season now, Philadelphia, they're trying to go for Super Bowl number 10. Can they be the first team that wins 10 Super Bowls in franchise history? 10 Super Bowls is a lot to win right now. As Philadelphia's kind of monopolized the Super Bowl winning thing right here. I think, what is it? They've definitely, since 2023, the first season, they've definitely monopolized winning Super Bowls. It's kind of scary how good they've gotten at winning the Super Bowl things, to the point where the Cowboys are like, we don't even have Super Bowls on Philadelphia anymore. Neither do the Patriots or the Pittsburgh Steelers. But that's what happens when you just draft talent correctly. You get good talent, you draft to team needs, you draft depth when you need to draft depth, and you just kind of always have that next man up. Goes, hey, Kaiser White. All right, Kaiser White's getting up there. He's got 2 years left on his contract. Draft Jeremiah Trotter to replace him. But Philadelphia 4-2 at Week 8 right now. They have a Week 7 bye, so I'm not too worried about it. They're sitting a game back of the Commanders. 13-5 from Richardson right there. So passing yards are down a little bit. 326. Oh, come on. What is that? That's gross. 447-5 from George Roman, who leads the team in receiving touchdowns. Games played, 6 sacks. Only 2 sacks allowed. Emmett Luck and Jacoby Thompson. The tackles right there. 49 tackles leads the team right there. Tackles for loss. That's going to be 8 from Matt Lawrence. Oh, my Lord. 2.5 sacks leads the team. Only 4 picks on the year so far. Not great. Not great at all. Dave's perfect, somehow. 12 punts from Greg. Let's see. Kick returns, punt returns non-existent right there. George Roman 3 for 16. Like, what's the point? Just wave it at that point. But hopefully Philadelphia could turn it around going into, I guess, the next half of the season. We're in second place right now. Defending Super Bowl champions. The last thing you want to do is just not make the playoffs. Now, you make it, you lose, fine. But you can't come in here and you can't just miss it altogether. That's when the rumors start. That's when everything starts going. Philadelphia is not a team that loses. They're a team that wins. And hopefully, and I really do mean hopefully, this team sticks it out and they get the victory that they absolutely deserve. and they just go out on top just a couple more times before this franchise comes to an end. I know you guys are looking at it right now. You see the minute marker now. You see how many minutes we have left in the episode. When that minute marker hits 0, guess what? It's franchise is over. And, it's... As I'm recording this, I'm voicing it over. The one thing I kind of wish it was, show the team, how the team looks every year. Just so we see who got replaced, how we replaced them with. So, that's the one thing I wish I kind of could have done differently. Philadelphia, they win the division 12-5. They have the tiebreaker over Washington, it looks like. Giants are an abysmal franchise. 2-15, absolute travesty down there. 45, 34, and 13 from Richardson right there. Not bad. Not great, but not bad, I'd say. Richardson, an average season. 1,000 yards from Matthew Reese right there. Barely 1,000. 13 from Greg Roman. I keep calling Greg. It's George Roman. 15 touchdowns leads the team. Peppers has 953. So not too shabby right there. Blocking-wise, let's take a look. What happened? Jacoby, Emmett, 6 and 5. We only allowed 2 sacks the first 8 weeks. So what happened the rest of the season? 134 leads the team. 21 tackles for loss. There's our first 10-sack getter in a minute. 3 picks leads the team right there. So not the worst. Blackwell's regressing. Dave missed a field goal, of course. 44 punts from Greg. That's probably a career high from Greg right there. I don't think I've ever seen him punt so much. George, 69 nice punt return yards. Great right there. The Eagles have the 1 seed at 12-5 apparently. And the Commanders have the 5 seed. Okay. So I like to see that right there. I'm glad that no one in the division had a better record than the Eagles. I guess no one in the NFC had a better record than the Eagles for the 1st seed. I just kind of finds it funny that because of that, the Commanders got the 5th seed. But no, that doesn't work out though, right? NFC East, NFC, you have the West, South, and North, right? Are there 4 divisions, right? Is that how many divisions there are in the NFC? I'm drawing a blank now on how many divisions there are in football. How many NFC divisions are there? There are 4 divisions. Okay. For some reason, I'm like, oh yeah, there's 4 divisions, and I was saying it out loud. I'm like, it just didn't sound right when I was saying it out loud. It's one of those things where you subconsciously know something, but then you think about it and you say it out loud, and you're like, that just doesn't sound right. It's like spelling Wednesday. It's like, oh, Wednesday. You say it all the time, and it's like, whatever. And then you spell it, goes, why is it spelled like that? Why does it just look like it's spelled wrong? That's the moment I just had right there, thinking of how many divisions there were in football and how the Commanders got the 5th seed. But yeah, all the division leaders, they get the 1 to 4, and then you have the Commanders at number 5. But taking on the Seahawks right now here at the Link. Philadelphia against Bird teams. This franchise, they've been a little better than they are historically against Bird teams, but the Seahawks, I don't think they have that JT guy anymore, so hopefully it's a little bit of a fairer fight. Seahawks, though, get the first touchdown in the game in the 2nd quarter. Philadelphia rallies back quickly. Defense lets up another touchdown right there. Come on, Philly offense. Nothing. Sputters out. Field goal from the Seahawks. 17-7 in the 3rd quarter. Come on, Philadelphia. Do something here. Don't do that. Down by 10, though, in the 4th. We can come... No. I feel like 31-14. Down by 10, 31-21. 50 seconds left. 21-28. Yeah, couldn't quite call it a comeback right there. The Seahawks, they bump this Philadelphia Eagles in this one right now. Not the greatest run of things. Of course, you get the first round bye, just get bumped by a fellow Bird team. Not great. But Philadelphia, they can only do so much when it comes down to these things. But there you go, Philadelphia. They are the losers here in 2041. They are not happy about how things turned out. Richardson throwing an interception, which I feel like that just kind of starts coming down to, he's in the latter half, he's in his Tom Brady Buccaneers years, where it's like, oh, awesome, he'll have a 40-plus touchdown season, and then he'll throw 15 picks. So, Trey Peppers, 133 receiving yards and a touchdown, not too shabby. 3 touchdowns with the 1 pick for, though. for our starting QB. 4 sacks, which isn't great. 11 tackles from Hayward right there. So he was productive. 2 tackles from Austin Clancy was productive. 3 sacks from Matthews. No picks for the defense. Of course, a missed field goal from Dave. That would have tied it up. That would have been the tying score, which could have probably brought us to overtime. 3 punts from Greg. He averaged over 50 yards a punt. 1 kick return and no punt returns for Mr. Betts right there, which is brutal to say the least. Richardson, he's an 83 overall quarterback. He is going to the Pro Bowl. George Roman's going to the Pro Bowl right there. Let's see, Jacoby Thompson's there, Quincy's there, Altman's there, Luck is there. So we do have a lot of players now actually starting to make the Pro Bowl again. We probably had players making the Pro Bowl to begin with, like the last couple of seasons. But since I didn't know who they were until we, did the Super Bowl run, all a guess. Bengals win their 5th Super Bowl right there. C.J. Stroud's MVP, Siriani's Coach of the Year. Walton, Riley, Dillon, and Hale are all your defensive, offensive rookies of the year. There you go. Take a nice look at that one right there. The Bengals, I'm pretty sure they still have Joey B. I don't think I've seen him retire yet. But going through this one right now, who hangs it up? Who calls it a crit? How many real players are left in this league? That's what we're coming down to. All right, Brian Staley. Let's see, any real faces left? Maybe. Come on, someone's got to have a real face still kicking in here. Let's take a look. No one so far of name value at least. All right. Seems like it's kind of a dud retiree here. Nothing too crazy. Cliff Kingsbury retires. Okay, that's probably your most notable retirees. The head coach of the Giants, Cliff Kingsbury. No wonder the Giants only had 2 wins last year. The offensively inept Cliff Kingsbury. Speeding things up right now through this season. It's 2042. We're over an hour into this franchise episode. Let's speed it up. Sim to the end of the season. How did the team do by the end of the year? How are we in the playoffs? Are we out of the playoffs? What's the point now of actually looking, at the halfway point? Week 5, though, coming and going as hopefully Philadelphia is doing fairly well. The one thing that we can't tell by just simming to the playoffs is how the team's doing. Usually about this point, we're getting to week 8. It's like, okay, Philadelphia's sitting 6-1, 5-2, 3-4, something like that. And you have an idea of like, okay, how is your season gonna look? But as we just kind of full send it to the full playoffs, like we don't get to see that portion of it. We don't get to see what the outcome is likely going to be. And even when we would still sim halfway, we finished 6-1. One halfway point, and then we finished the season 10-7, or we would be 3-4, and we finished. I gotta do math in my head. Sorry, math's not my strong suit. 7. So then we'd finish 13-4. Like it's happened where we've had bad starts and we finished strong. We've had strong starts and finished poorly. But 11-6, we win the East right here, but we do not get the first round bye. Taking on the Niners right here. 49ers. Real life 49ers kind of looking like they're going to be a rival of Philadelphia. No Brock Purdy this time around for the Niners, as they are sitting at, this kind of team. Not the greatest team, honestly. Not a team that we're worried about here in Philadelphia. But coming into this one, we are looking for a big win. A big win, get us back to that championship round, get us back to the Super Bowl. Let's win ring number 10. Nick Siriani, Anthony Richardson, they have 8 rings. Last time I checked, 8 rings, you have 10 fingers. So we're at the Tom Brady level of rings right now. When you really break it down, actually, we're at the Tom Brady level of rings. We have tied Tom Brady in rings. Tom Brady won 6 with the Patriots. He won 1 with the Bucks, and then he came here in season number 2 and then won his 8th Super Bowl. So to come out here, win 8 Super Bowls, Richardson to tie him, can he beat Tom Brady? That's going to be, I guess, the real question when it all comes down to. is if the little bit of time that Anthony Richardson has left in the league, can he get that 9th ring? That's what it comes down to. That is really, at the end of the day, what it comes down to. Who's going to retire with more rings? Because right now, Tom Brady has the Jordan ring. He has the 6 rings. No one's going to beat him right now with 8. There we go. Philadelphia's up 20-14. But can a victory right here, can that help Richardson to surpass what Tom Brady was able to do? And even you got to think Richardson has 8 rings. One of those rings came as Brady's backup. So he's got like the Jimmy Garoppolo rings, where Jimmy Garoppolo has 2 or 3 rings of his own, but they came on the merits of someone else. So does that ring actually count? Where Tom Brady, all of his came as the starter? Does Richardson's first ring he got, does that count as a traditional ring? But a victory here over the 49ers in the first round, the wild card round of the NFC playoffs. So there you go. A big victory, big 38-31 victory here over the San Francisco 49ers. So there you go, Anthony Richardson. 1 game closer to getting back to the Super Bowl, in which hopefully they can win the franchise's 10th Super Bowl ring. But there you go, 38-31. Richardson threw a pick, over 300 yards passing, over 150 yards rushing. So let's go offense. Philadelphia definitely had a good game overall, which is something that seems like they haven't really done much of. 350, touchdown, interception, 221 yards from George Roman, 3 touchdowns for the young fella. He's killing it. Altman had a sack allowed, 15 tackles on the team. Tackles for loss are absolutely abysmal. We did get 4 sacks. 4 sacks, 4 tackles for losses. So, not much backfield pressure. Dave, of course, is missing everything because, why wouldn't Dave be consistently accurate with like 99 kick accuracy? And I know it's beating a dead horse, but every time Dave misses something, I'm going to call him out for it. Now we're taking on the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers here in the playoffs. I don't think we've played them since the first couple of seasons. I know we've played them with Tom Brady. When Tom Brady was here, we definitely went up against them. But I don't think we've done much since that's happened, against the Buccaneers. We played them like in the regular season, of course. Like we had the LJ Johnson game where the dude was just a menace to society against us. But playoff-wise, we haven't done much against the Buccaneers. So I'm not too worried about any curse against the Bucs right now. They're not a bird team. They're not like the Cowboys. They're not anything of real value, I would say. They have 2,200 yards, 3.6 yards per carry. Not, maybe a bit of an above average rush attack. Philadelphia, 3.3 yards allowed, average inside rush yards allowed, 3.3, outside rush 3.2. So, Philadelphia's rush defense looking pretty tight against, what about the norms? They're averaging about a little over what Philadelphia allows. So I think Philadelphia can definitely maintain the run game here against the Buccaneers. It's just going to come down to can they maintain the passing attack as well. But Dave, there he is. Come on, Dave. Philadelphia's opening drive lets up a touchdown. So 7-0 Bucs here. Final 2 minutes of the first quarter. No score for Philly. Into the second quarter, the Bucs score again. Philadelphia gets the first touchdown, but a quick back-to-back Buccaneers touchdowns. Philly goes up 28-14. Their second touchdown of the game. Philly, can you make it a 1-score game? We accidentally jump in here, so give us a second to jump right back out of it. Yeah, we're gonna jump to the next play. Go on, keep it pushing. Keep it pushing right there. So 8-yard rush for Richardson right there. So it's a 28-14 game. Of course, there's a pick right there. So why wouldn't it? But coming through this one, 28-14. Come on, defense, you want to do something. 4th and 5, 31-14. That interception is brutal right there. That's definitely a game changer. 31-17, 8 minutes left. I don't think there's definitely not enough time to come back. Not enough time for Philadelphia to really do anything in this one. And overall, it's an absolutely poor game played by the Eagles. You gotta think they had the opportunity to go and score points, but they just kind of just kind of messed it all with that interception by Richardson late in this one. The Bucs, they end up beating Philadelphia. They got to the divisional round here, and they just choked it all the way. I mean, not being the favorites, I mean, it's the underdogs. I don't think it's actually technically a choke if, the Bucs are technically the favorites. Being the favorites on the road, I guess at home, Philadelphia on the road, for one of the very few times they've been on the road here in this series in the playoffs. Usually they end up making like the 1 seed, and they have home field advantage the whole playoff run. But to have to go down to Tampa Bay, Richardson, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks, awful game, 61 yards rushing. Coakley had 126 receiving. No sacks allowed. 8 tackles led the team. No tackles for loss. Only 2 sacks on the day. No interceptions. So, not great. Dave was fine. There was no punts yet because we turned the ball over every time. Is either an interception or a touchdown for Philadelphia. Or Richardson makes the Pro Bowl right there. You like to see that for him. Let's see. Tight end, no one. Tackle, Jacoby Thompson's there. We have Lux there, so good for them. Our tackles are Pro Bowlers. Our quarterback's a Pro Bowler. Anyone else, honestly, a Pro Bowler that I can recall, maybe? No one that I can point out, honestly, as being a Pro Bowler. The Titans, they win their first ever Super Bowl over the Seattle Seahawks. Like I said, Roman Bennett's their MVP. Hackney's the MVP. Harry Greer is the Coach of the Year. You got Klein, Burrow, Bradshaw, and Farrell are your Coach of the Year, Offensive, Defensive, and Defensive Rookies of the Year. Now going into this one right now, the 2044 season, right? 2044 season? It's got to be 2044, right? 2044, 2043, now I'm confused, honestly. I forget what season we're on last one. I could be a year ahead, I could be a year early. But Philadelphia Patriots, okay. Philadelphia, let's get this season going. No, it's 2043, it's right there at the top. I am just blind. It's literally right there next to the preseason. It says 2043 preseason, New England Patriots. Just entirely whiffed on that being there. But we're simming through this season, and honestly, we're getting down to the final 20-ish minutes of this episode. It's coming to an end. It's coming to an end. It's not something anyone wants to see. I think the last time I was this, kind of sad to see a series end was our Phillies series. I was also kind of annoyed with that series, too, because that recording took 8 hours. This recording also took upwards of 8 hours to record. It's broken down to, I think, 8 hours of recording, and this is an hour and 40-minute long video. So the fact that the majority, over 3/4 of it is more or less, got scrapped because it was just dead time, nothing to really kind of, sink your teeth into, flipping through screens, setting lineups, free agents, stuff like that with the computer gen players. But week 14, we're getting close to the end of the regular season now. Philadelphia, how are we gonna do? Hopefully we have ourselves a big victory. Hopefully we have something of actual namesake that we can just get a hold of here. Come on. Come on, Richardson. I know you're older. I know you're there. And did we just miss the play? No? Okay, first seed. We get the first seed. We have the bye week. 14-3 on the season. Eagles down to an 88 overall team, so they're definitely declining. 46, 36, and 6. Not bad. 1,215 from Matthew Reese. Let's see. George, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns. He led the team. 1,000 yards from that other guy right there. So good for them. Let's see, sacks, 9 sacks from Jonathan Collins right there, the left tackle. So, yeah, Jacoby Thompson, he retired. So that's a shame right there. Tackles for loss, 14. 11.5, 2 players over 10 sacks. That's wild. 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 picks on the season. Not too shabby. 20 for 20. Is that a perfect season from Dave? No, he missed an extra point. I'm assuming it was blocked, but almost a perfect season from Dave. Absolutely insane right there. Oh, this close to a perfect season from Dave being good at his job. I'm surprised George is the punt returner. Usually you don't see your number one receiver being a punt returner. But Philadelphia and Jacksonville are the 1 seeds. So Philadelphia, Jacksonville, they have met up in the Super Bowl before. Siriani did take on Dougie P, which was a wild Super Bowl victory for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, you had to have been there to see it. But go check the episode out if you haven't. Playlist is down in the description below. But Philadelphia, they're coming at this one against the Atlanta Falcons. The Bird team. Oh boy, it's a Bird team. Let's see, is Philadelphia going to be like Philadelphia of old? You know, where they've kind of struggled. If it's the Bird team, it's more or less a guaranteed L. Or are they going to be like the more modern Philadelphia Eagles, where they've kind of taken care of business when it comes to the Falcons, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks? I mean, they did lose to the Bucs last year. They beat the Seahawks. So, I mean, like, fingers crossed, hopefully, that we have ourselves a good playoff run this year. You know, I mean, I can't see Anthony Richardson having that many more seasons left in him. So, come on, Richardson. You can do it. Pull it out of the bag. Pull out just 1 or 2 more, good seasons. I believe in you. You can do it. Let's get it. We got it. We got it right now, and I'm not afraid of this Falcons team. They're the 7th seed for a reason. They're a wild card team. Yards per attempt, 8.5, completion 69, nice percentage completion right there for the Falcons. Philadelphia, I believe Philadelphia is better. Come on, Philadelphia. You have to be better than this. But now, there you go. Richardson right there hyping up the team. Dave, there he is. He's getting set. He's ready to get this game underway. Come on, Philly. You can do it. Home stretch here. Just watch it come in for the victory. So we're getting into this first quarter right now. No one's scored yet. 5 minutes left. Philly gets on the board first. Come on, defense. You could do it. So Philly only has 1 touchdown there in the first quarter. Philly goes up by 2 touchdowns here in the second quarter. Falcons get on the board there as well before the quarter ends, and they get 10 points uncontested. Philly goes up 21-10. Another field goal by the Falcons makes it 21-13. Another touchdown for the Philadelphia. They have 4 in this game. They have a field goal right there. 31-13 is the score now. Final minute, 34, thanks to a field goal. There you go. Dave did his thing. We got field goals in this game. Big victories for the Philadelphia Eagles here in 2043. The Falcons, as the 7th seed, succumb to the 1st seed Philadelphia Eagles. 34-13 is the final score. So a big W for Anthony Richardson. So there you go. He's celebrating at midfield right there. The fans are hyped. They think this is the year that they're going to win it all yet again for Super Bowl number 10. Fingers crossed. Like, no one's looking forward to a Super Bowl here in Philadelphia more than me. I really want to see Philadelphia win their 10th ring before this series concludes. Like, that would just be a great endpoint. 10 rings. 3 touchdowns, no picks, 134 yards from Trey Peppers, sacks, no pancakes, 1 sack from Emmett Luck right there, the right tackle, 11 tackles from that guy, no tackles for loss. There was 3 sacks, no picks. All right, kicking-wise, Dave was fine. 2 punts from Greg, no kick return, and no punt returns, because why would we do that? Now, coming in here, the championship round. Can Philadelphia find a way to get back to the Super Bowl? Come on. Win it all this year. Come on. Taking on the Los Angeles Rams right here. The Rams are a long ways away from Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, and Aaron Donald. This is a team I definitely believe we have not played yet in the playoffs. But the Rams here coming at you. I believe they were like the 2 or the 3 seed, honestly. But that doesn't matter, though. It is the playoffs. It doesn't matter what the seed is. Every game is a winner-takes-all game. You can be the 7th seed and win it all. You can be the 1st seed and lose in your first game of the playoffs. So let's go, Philadelphia. Let's hold tight. Let's get the big victory here. 1,900 rushing yards, 3.2 yards a carry. We are definitely a long ways away, from the Bijan era where we had like 2,500 yards rushing. Bijan with 23 touchdowns a season. Crazy. There you go. 42 touchdowns, 5,000 passing yards, 72% completion for the Rams passing attack right there. So definitely an air raid offense here from Los Angeles. But who knows? Nick Siriani, he's been a guru here in Philadelphia. He knows what to do. He's been around the block enough times to know how to play the defense, how to play the offense, all of it. But Dave gets things on the way opening kickoff, about the 5-minute mark right now. Philadelphia gets the first score of the game. First quarter ends with only Philadelphia scoring, going up 10-0 in the second. Rams get their first touchdown in the second as well. Philadelphia regains a 10-point lead, 17-7. No field goal before the half right there. 17-10 now. Philadelphia gives a field goal of their own, goes up by 10 yet again here in the third. Fourth quarter, come on, Philadelphia. There you go, up by 17. All right, back to 10 with the touchdown. To 3 now, back-to-back touchdowns from the Rams. Come on, Philadelphia. Final 30 seconds, and no! You're kidding me. They scored, 21 unanswered points? 21. If this comes down to Dave missing a field goal, I'm going to be livid. I mean, if a field goal wouldn't have actually really secured us the win, but still, if Dave missed 1 or 2 field goals, I'm going to be livid. 248 passing yards, so not a great passing attack, honestly, for this Eagles offense. I mean, absolutely heartbroken this team is to think that, hey, this is the year we're going to get back at it. We're going to get back in the Super Bowl. We're going to win number 10. It's the sad part right now is how much time does Richardson have left, really? He's in year 20. This was year 20 for him, which is, I guess this is year 21 technically. 81 receiving yards for George, 2 sacks allowed right there, 15 tackles from Randall, 2 tackles from Loss led the team. There was 5 sacks, not bad, 2 interceptions. So, I mean, the defense did its thing. No misses. It just gave up points late, which is awful. You hate to see stuff like that because this team played well. Richardson down to a 77 overall. Makes the Pro Bowl, though. Let's see. Left tackle. No one's there for Philadelphia. We got the center. We got the right tackle. Okay, so we got Nails. Nails is there. Nails is one of our guys, I'm pretty sure. But middle linebacker, Hayward. Hayward's one of our guys. Let's see. Dave and Greg are both there. Dave, 99 overall kicker. And hey, there you go. The Los Angeles Rams, they defeat the New England Patriots in a rematch. Which the Patriots have, I think, won both times. I guess the Patriots have beat the St. Louis and the Los Angeles. So the Rams get payback right here. 44-38. Rams. Anderson. Tucker is the MVP. Quinn is Coach of the Year. Taking those who have retired, 21 years in the league. Was that Anthony Richardson's final season? Taking a look, scrolling through here. Taking the retirees. A bunch of Rams players are hanging up. A couple of that for the Patriots as well. Bunch of Jets guys are hanging up the spikes. Payne for the Giants. We got Blackwell retires. All right, he's our cornerback right there. Not the worst thing to lose. Not a great thing to lose. He's getting up there in age, though. So I'm not too broken up about him retiring. But Philadelphia, that was the only retiree, it looks like. Only losing, Niles Blackwell right there, which not bad to lose, honestly. I mean, not great to lose, but not bad. Dennis Allen retires, so does Coach Roger Hughes for the Texans. So the Texans have not been relevant since Lovie Smith retired, which is very strange. And, it's a shame for that Texans organization. They did win one, though, and then lost a bunch to Philadelphia. But there you go. Philadelphia advancing to the playoffs yet again. Probably one of the last seasons with Anthony Richardson under center. You gotta think he was a 77 overall last season. Another round of regression, so he's probably sitting at like a low 70 right now. Maybe like a 75 if he's really lucky. I think 75 is the high. I'm thinking he's probably like a 71 right now. And that's the one reason, that's the one thing I wish I would have changed slightly about this, is like just shown what the roster is going into each season, just so we know what the overalls are. At least for, offense, defense, special teams doesn't really change all that much. But offense, defense, definitely wish I would have shown what the team is packing, just so it's like, okay, year by year, it's like, hey, these guys are growing, these guys are declining, That's just something that, I'm still learning here on YouTube. I'm still learning. It's I don't know what year of Madden this is for me. I've done a bunch of Madden franchises, but none have ever gone really this long and been this productive. But Philadelphia, though, coming into Week 17, they got 1 week left here in 2044. Is this it? This is it. And Philadelphia, 7-10. They miss the playoffs right there altogether. For the 3rd time in this franchise, the Philadelphia Eagles have missed the playoffs. 42, 32, and 9 from Richardson, so not bad. 939 from Reese, 1,000 from Aaron Woodall. Let's see, touchdowns, 9 from George Roman, had 951. Let's see, sacks allowed, 13 sacks by Jonathan Collins. Oh my lord, that's awful. 153 from Haywood right there, 16 tackles for loss, 5.5, just no pressure on quarterbacks at all. 5 picks from Zach, so we did okay, it seems like, on interception totals. Just not really much after that. But Philadelphia, kick return there, punt return, 133 from Kentrell Clemmings. It's a real shame right there, honestly. But I don't understand why just nothing happens for the punt return and kick return. Take a look, here's how the playoffs stack up. Cardinals are the 1 seed, Commanders are the 3 seed, Bears are the 2, Bucks are 4, 5 is the Vikings, 6 is the Rams, and 7 is the Seahawks. Then you got Chiefs, Jets, Jags, Titans, Chargers, Steelers, and Broncos. Not really sure who I want to win that Super Bowl, honestly. Taking a look here at, I guess, how everything's going to play out. Let's see. Any Eagles? Any Eagles? No one that I'm seeing, honestly. Haywood. Okay, we got Hayward. We have Hayward right there. And that's about it. We have Hayward. All right, the Chiefs. They win the Super Bowl right here. Their 3rd Super Bowl in franchise history. Robert Saleh gets Coach of the Year. Klein's Offensive Player of the Year. Harrell is your MVP. That the Chiefs win the Harrell wins Super Bowl MVP. He wins NFL MVP. There you go, and he gets his first ring of his career. There you go. Taking a look here at these ones. How does the retirees turn out? Any Philadelphia Eagles? Honestly, that's what we're looking for. How many Eagles are we losing? Richardson, Luck, Molden, and McCain all retire. So Anthony Richardson, after 22 seasons, decides he's going to hang up the spikes here in this franchise mode. And that brings this franchise mode to an end, honestly. There is no new season. There is no, okay, let's finish the year 25. No. This season ends with Anthony Richardson right there. Sean McDermott, Sean McVay, they all retire right there. So a bunch of players are retiring. A bunch of head coaches are retiring. McVay might be like 60 now. Sean McDermott, probably in his late 60s. Richardson ends with over 95,000 passing yards, 2nd all-time in passing yards. The most passing touchdowns with 858 passing touchdowns in his career, passing everyone. Rushing yards goes to Bijan Robinson with 24,000 rushing yards right there. Touchdowns goes to Bijan, 248 rushing touchdowns, obliterating Emmitt Smith. Receiving yards, Jerry Rice is still number 1. Let's see, no Eagles top that one right there. Receiving touchdowns, Devonta Smith is up there in the top 10. He passed Randy Moss, Terrell Owens. Jerry Rice still number 1 catches. Let's see, no one's really up there. Jamar Chase got close. Defensive sacks, JT beats out Micah Parsons by astounding almost 60 sacks right there. That's absolutely insane right there. Bryan Breese is also top 10. Trevon Diggs finished 1 interception shy of tying, 2 from passing. Darius Slay's top 10 he finished. Passing yards in a season, Joe Burrow, 5,700 passing yards. Passing touchdowns, 58 from Burrow, who broke Brady's with the Eagles with 58. Rushing yards. We're freaking out right now. What's going on? Passing yards. There we go. Joe Burrow, 57. Okay. Passing touchdowns, 58, beat Tom Brady. All right. Let's see. Rushing yards, Dickerson, 2,100, still the total. Rushing touchdowns, Bijan with 29, beat out Priest Holmes. Receiving yards, Cooper Kupp still 2,100. Receiving touchdowns, 29 from Devonta Smith. Micah Thomas, 149 receiving. That hasn't broken. Defensive sacks, 30 from Hasan. 17 picks from Big Play Slay. That's still a record in a season. But yeah, a bunch of crazy stuff right there. Richardson, we're just going through right now. We're just making sure, see who makes the Hall of Fame. So we're just going honestly straight down, taking a look to see who makes it. You know, Nick Siriani, he's a Hall of Famer, first ballot guy. Seeing all of these players make the Hall of Fame, honestly, it's crazy. It really is crazy to see who makes the Hall of Fame, who hasn't made the Hall of Fame. Let's see, does Dak Prescott make the Hall of Fame? That's the question. That's what I want to know. Does Dak Prescott make the Hall of Fame? Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, are those guys Hall of Famers? All right, you got Justin Herbert, Najee Harris, you got Mark Andrews, Noah Sewell, Jamar Chase, Darius Slay, Jeremiah Trotter, Gallagher, Fant, Blake, CJ GJ, Dawson Knox, Derrick Henry. Let's see, Miles Jack, Landon Dickerson. We're going through this, seeing a lot of Eagles. A lot of Eagles are scrolling past right now. Kyler, Jarrett Patterson, Joey Bosa, Justin Jefferson. There's Zeke. So Zeke's a Hall of Famer. All right, good for Zeke. Honestly, good career for Zeke. Way to go, him. Now, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's the real question. Is Dak Prescott a Hall of Famer? I don't think so. I don't think Dak Prescott. I don't think he has it what it takes to be a Hall of Famer. But we're getting through this one. We're getting towards the bottom now. Kelvin, Baker. How is Baker a Hall of Famer? And that's what I'm more curious about, is why and how Baker is a Hall of Famer. So we saw Jason Peters that's the end of it right there. We went a couple further down just to make sure that there were no one else that is a Hall of Famer. But taking a look here, Nick Sirianni finished over 300 wins in his career. 8 Super Bowl wins, 9 appearances right there. The game glitched out, says he only has 57 wins. So we kind of did the math, and he has over 300 wins in his career, which is absolutely insane for Nick Sirianni. He retires, 23rd all-time in legacy score right there. The best, the most winningest head coach ever with over 300 wins. Check the description down below. We actually put his win-loss record down there, as I can't remember off the top of my head what that win-loss record is. But as we get to the end of this franchise, we go to retire from the league. Let's just reflect one last time on how this franchise kind of turned out, where everyone kind of landed. The first Super Bowl the Patriots won, the Eagles won. As we just go through this memory lane right here, just a reflection on how everything turned out. Philadelphia, a pretty big run of making the Super Bowl for, was that 3-4 years in a row, 5 years in a row. They went to the Super Bowl 5 years in a row and only lost one of them. Absolutely insane run right there for the Philadelphia Eagles. To come through here and win as many Super Bowls as they did, to be as productive as they were as an organization, to be as consistent, you're never going to see something like that again. But if you guys enjoy this episode, hit that like button, comment down below. Until next time, YouTube, peace out, rock on, stay super classy, and we'll catch you on the next episode of a Madden franchise here later on